Hello, everyone. In today's podcast, I want to discuss with you regarding meditation. So, my objective of this podcast is to prove that meditation is nothing more than that a scam. And I urge everyone don't fall in the trap of meditation. So, why I'm saying this? So, if I'm saying this, then it means that I do have a strong reason behind this. So, let's start. First of all, why we do meditation. We all know that meditation is one of the important medium or means to calm our mind or to transcend ourselves to the another world or to know the unknown or to know the truth. So for any of the purpose we do meditation. So once again I am repeating, if you want to know the unknown, if you want to know the God, if you want to understand the mystery of this life, or if you want to just make yourself calm, you do meditation. So I'll just take an example of meditation that is called Vipassana. Many of you would be familiar with this name, Vipassana. Vipassana is one of the important type of meditation. Different gurus has proposed different kind of Vipassana, but ultimately in the root, the base is same. So what we do in the Vipassana? So I'm just taking in a small example or a sample example to prove myself that why I'm saying meditation is a scam, at least in today's world. So, what we do basically in Vipassana? Vipassana is all about to be a witness of your breath. Sit, relax, be calm, and watch your breath, how it passes through your nostrils, how it enters into the lungs, and how you exhale it out. So, this is the whole process of Vipassana. And the objective of Vipassana is that once you concentrate yourself into the breath, then your thoughts will start relaxing. Your thoughts, your uncontrolled thoughts and emotion will start smoothing. You will start feeling relaxed because the volume of thoughts will be reduced into your mind. So basically, why we feel stressed? What is the reason that we feel stressed or depressed? It is just because the density of the thoughts, the number of thoughts per seconds, I are higher than the capacity of our mind. This is the primary reason that we feel relaxed. So this is the primary reason that we feel stressed. So if at any place, not only at the mind, if anywhere, if you insert something which is more than the capacity, the area will be stressed out. So mind has a certain capacity. So if thoughts will be uncontrolled in the mind, definitely the mind will start showing its symptoms. And depression or stress or negativity is one of the symptoms of uncontrolled thought or of high volume thought. So when you do the vipassana, when you do all sort of activity that is prescribed in the vipassana, definitely your mind is going to be relaxed because your thoughts will start controlling. But I don't have a problem with this. The major problem lies within us, that when this vipassana was discovered, when the various means of meditation was discovered, there was nothing called depression there was nothing called negativity. At that time, we used to be calm normally. So laughing or smiling or enjoying was something very natural. At that time, we don't need to wait for the weekends to smile. We don't need to go to the bar or pub to smile or laugh. We don't need to meet our friends to smile or laugh. So peace and calmness was something very natural that every one of us used to have at that time. So when I'm saying that time, it means like we can just go 30 to 40 years back. So what happened after that? And why meditation was useful at that time and why meditation is not useful now? So see, basically in the meditation, you want to control your thought with the thought of meditation. You want to watch your breath, you want to relax yourself, and then ultimately your objective is to control your thought with the thought of meditation. But if you are filled with negativity, if you are filled with high volume thoughts, then how you can concentrate on your thoughts, or means how you can concentrate on your breath? Is there any way that you can control or you can watch your breath as prescribed in the Vipassana? Howsoever you try, whatsoever measures you can take, but ultimately you won't be able to, or you cannot be the witness of that breath, which is the ultimate objective of the Vipassana. There are some basic requirement, some prerequisites to do any activity. If you apply for a job or if you do any type of task, there is some eligibility criteria. So similar to that, any sort of meditation is having a eligibility criteria. And the person who is suffering from deep depression or high volume thoughts or having deep stress, he doesn't fulfill that basic criteria, basic eligibility criteria. So howsoever he try, ultimately he will be tired. He won't feel relaxed because he cannot go as deep as it is required for that particular meditation. If suppose I want to sit, relax, and want to be the witness of my thoughts, want to be witness of my breath, but at one end I'm not able to control my thought, and on the other end my objective is to control the thought. So using my thought, I want to control the thought. I don't know how many people has got benefited from the meditation in today's world. For me, if you have any sort of negativity, if you have high ambition, if you are entangled in this world of karmas, if you don't understand this law of karma, or there are many more such criteria, it's not possible for you to get yourself relaxed through the mode of meditation. So what I'm saying, what is the solution for this? For me, the solution is the fulfill the basic criteria of the meditation. See, to know the unknown or to know the truth, there are various means. Devotion was one of the means, meditation was one of the means, tantra was one of the means, and there are many more also. But these three are the primary: devotion, Tantra, and the meditation. Now, after the westernization of our education system, westernization of the society, our mind has become complete scientific. Until unless we don't prove anything on the laboratory, we think what cannot be proven in the laboratory is superstitious. We don't believe in the law of karma. We don't believe in the God. We don't believe in astrology. Or there are many more things which is part and parcel of the life. We don't believe in that. See, if you'll just see your body, you don't have a control on any of the activity of this body. What happens after you intake your food? How your food get digest? How this process of digestion converts your food into blood, converts your food into flesh, converts your food into skin? How thoughts are coming into your mind? How you remember things? How you store whatever you have remembered? And how you fetch the things? There is nothing that you control. Even if the breath, if I'll say, you don't control your breath. You'd be thinking that I I breath. It's not someone else, that it's me only who used to breath. But suppose if it is you who controls the breath, then why don't you forget sometime when you are into deep sleep, when you are lost somewhere? Did it happen sometime with you that because you were busy, you forgot to breath? No, it never happened. Because anything that is essential for this life is not in your control. Then why you want to control your thoughts? Why you can't surrender yourself to the God and say, when you are controlling everything, when even the smallest thing of my life you are controlling, then who am I to control the thought? You do have various parts in your body, but 24 into 7, you just have a conscious feeling of your mind only. And that is just because you want to control the thought. You get the feeling of your fingers, you get the feeling of your nose, your ears, your skin, whenever you want to feel. Otherwise, you don't feel those. But mind you always feel, because there is enormous thought that always run. And why do you think why it happened? Why we stuck into this deep negativity? Like till last year, I never used to believe in astrology. I always think that astrology is a bullshit. We should not believe in the astrology. This is just one of the means to earn some money. But slowly, something happened, some incident happened, and I started reading and studying astrology. And what I observed that was very unique. I compared the chart of our previous generation, like our father, grandfather, that generation, and the current generation. So I met almost 100 plus of my colleague, friends, relatives who were either suffering from stress, depression, or any sort of negativity. I saw a common pattern in their birth chart. What I didn't see in the birth chart of our previous generation, into our father and grandfather generation. Why it is so? Why this generation has more symptoms of stress, negativity, and depression? Why earlier generation does not have anything called stress and depression? There might be various reasons for that. But one of the reason is that atheism. Atheism suddenly started increasing in last 30 to 40 years. And that happened primarily because we cannot prove in our laboratory that God exists. And because of this, we have completely discarded the concept of God, the theism, and the belief system. And the state sponsored secularism, the Western education, missionaries, they have also contributed into this. Due to this, in last 30 to 40 years, we hardly believe that there is any God. Or even though if we believe sometime, that is the time that we don't find any solution. We are in complete grief and we don't have any means. Then we surrender ourselves to the God. Just because of this mentality in the last 30 to 40 years, we forgot to surrender. We don't know what is the advantage of surrendering ourselves to the God. So once you surrender yourself to the God and you say that God, when you are controlling everything of my life, then I am no one to control my thoughts also. You are the one who will decide everything for me. And the moment you surrender yourself to the God, some miracle happens. The time you surrender, your thoughts vanishes. There is no duality in the mind. Everything's everything go into the complete peace. Smoothening of your mind starts. There is no thought that haunts you. You don't need to do any meditation for that. You don't need to do any sort of yoga, or you don't need to take any steroid for that. The key is surrender. But the thing is how you are going to surrender. When at one end you think that there is no God, how you are going to surrender? If today I met someone, or if I today if I'm just recording this podcast and saying to you that if you are suffering from stress and depression, go and surrender yourself to the God, how you are going to do that when you don't believe there is any God? And moreover, on top of this, something bad, something which is more worse than this, that has happened in this like last 30 to 40 years, that after invaders came into India, so they started purposely destroying everything, our temples, our Vedas, all our holy books. Due to that, we started documenting the truth, like this Vedas, and there are a lot of things that was part of Guru and Sishya Parampara. We used to deliver the knowledge orally. No knowledge used to be written, because thought is something that you cannot like, truth is something that you cannot write. Once you are going to write the truth, it's not truth anything anymore. So but just because invaders started coming and we don't have any means to protect our knowledge, we started documenting it. So one of the important aspect of Veda, so one of the important aspect of Veda, or one of the, we call it as a Mahavakya. One of the Mahavakya of Veda, that was Aham Brahmasmi, and the another Tattvamasi. So intellectual brain who want to feel the God, who want to go into the devotion, they have read all these things, that Aham Brahmasmi, it's me who is the God. Tattvamasi, that is you. You are the God. See, there are two types of people. One who is intellectual and one to discover the God, and one who is like not at all interested in discovery. So I'm just talking right now about the second type of people who is intellectual and want to discover the God. Now, when they read all these things that Aham Brahmasmi and Tatvamasi, they think that it's me who is the God. Then where I shall surrender? Where I shall surrender? See, that is the problem. That has happened once we written this all this knowledge, once we documented this knowledge. Aham Brahmasmi is a feeling that you are gonna to get once you practice the devotion. Then the ultimate knowledge will come to you that the one whom you are worshipping and the one who is worshipping, these two are not two different entities. That's Advait. Whom I am worshipping, the God and the devotee, these two are not different. But that is something that will come once you practice devotion. Then that knowledge will come to you. Now you have just read that knowledge. You have not experienced that. So that knowledge is nothing for you. It's just a crap. Knowing you are the God doesn't mean anything for you. You will still feel depressed. You will still feel under a lot of stress and negativity. So that is nothing. It means like we are teaching what is light to a blind person. For a blind person, we need to provide them the eye. We need to give them some medical treatment so that they can get their sight. We don't need to teach them what is light. Once their eye is revived, they don't need a knowledge that what is light. That is that they will know it. Without being taught, they will know what is light. So with the help of meditation, with the help of all this knowledge, it is similar to like we are teaching what is light to the blind person, and that's why it's not helping. See, once you start feeling the God, once you start getting the divinity within you, you start the first thing, the very first symptom. I'm just giving you a key today that a person who is having divinity, he will be humble. And you see the person who meditate, hardly you will find that humbleness is there within them. See, doing meditation, getting the knowledge from the books is not going to help you. What's going to help you is start believing everything that you call superstition today. Go back to the old school thoughts and find what all you have called superstitions. Start collecting those. Start doing the kirtan. Start doing the bhajan. Start getting a good company that called the satsang. Because to surrender yourself, there should be a seed of devotion that should come into your mind first. And how that seed of devotion will come? For that, for that in our tradition, in the Hinduism, there was a concept of satsang. There was a concept of kirtan. What a mob used to do together. It's because that with the energy of someone else enlightenment that is transferred to us. That happens in the satsang and kirtan. So if you really want to feel that divinity, if you really want to feel the God, and if you are serious about that, start indulging yourself into these type of activities. Don't do meditation, don't start practicing anything, or don't read the books. Find your east, find your east, get a good company, Give yourself a 30-day challenge that, okay, in these 30 days, I'll not think anything vulgar. I'll not do anything vulgar. I'll get a good company of the people who practice devotion. I'll try to find my east. Finding east is something that to know where your inclination is, towards which god you do have a more inclination. Once you find your east, start doing this chanting of the mantras. Find your east, get the mantras of that east, start chanting that mantra. Once you do at least for the 30 days, keeping your scientific mind aside, without thinking that, okay, I need to prove the god into the laboratory, just do it for 30 days blindly. A seed of devotion will germinate into your mind, and that will help you to surrender. Remember, surrender is the key. The time you surrender yourself to the god, your thoughts will vanish. The thoughts are just like a cloud on the sun or cloud on the moon. Whatever the glass or specs you use to see the moon or sun at the time of cloud, you cannot see. You need to wait for the cloud to get vanish. So that cloud is your mind. That cloud is your thought. And once you surrender to the God, that cloud will vanish. And that full moon will appear before you. The truth is within you. You don't need to read any book or you don't need to go to any guru to understand what is God. The truth is within you. You just need to uncover it. And uncovering is only possible through through the devotion. That is all what I want to say today.